The Heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa, defeats Magsao in a very entertaining fight, but what I would deem as a robbery in the making. Before we get into it, let's send out our blessings. Blessed love and blessed day, old boxing world, boxing nation, fighting world, fight nation. It's Coach Fire, and this is real life boxing. Best double jab straight down the pipe. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when all new content is being uploaded on the channel of Real Life Boxing. Put the left hook behind it and share the video, please and thank you. Again, very entertaining fight, but I deem it as a robbery in the making. You guys gonna have to stay to the end of the video to find out why I think it was a robbery in the making. Shout out to Brandon Figueroa, because I actually think that he fought at mid-range, at long distance and mid-range better than usual. We know Brandon Figueroa loves to crash the pocket and do his inside work. Even though he's tall, even though he's long and lanky, he's like a Fundora, you know what I'm saying? Those guys like to be on the inside and mixing it up on the inside, you know what I'm saying, toe to toe. But he has been working on his boxing and working behind his jab, and I think in this fight he did a pretty good job at long range and at mid-range. Working behind his jab, and even his defense was a lot better than it usually was when Magsao was throwing his hooks. When Magsao was being a mid-range hooker, Brandon Figueroa's defense was definitely better mid-range than it usually is. Where he did have problem with mid-range was when he would plant his feet and Magsao would throw his combination. Magsao was throwing a beautiful 1-2-1 and a 2-1-2 combination when Brandon Figueroa would switch southpaw. Brandon Figueroa would start orthodox, throw a 1-2, and he was having great success with a nice fast 1-2 from long range, from mid range. But every time he threw his 2, he would step over and then become southpaw. And to me, Magsao would just kill him every time he turned southpaw with a beautiful 1-2-1 combination, 2-1-2 combination, using his angles, using his feet, jumping around Brandon Figueroa. But again, Brandon Figueroa did much better at mid-range than he usually does. Like I said, when he had problems at mid-range was when he would plant his feet and allow Magsao to hop off with a, with a 4 or 5 piece combination, you know what I'm saying, of straight punches. Brandon Figueroa behind his jab coming forward, once he did that, and I was saying about the 3rd, 4th round, once he made that adjustment, just really throwing his jab, using his jab and going on his front foot behind his jab, Magsao was like, hey, because Magsao, he really did not want a pocket to form at all, and he was still doing great work. But in the pre-fight interview, when they asked him what worried him the most about Brandon Figueroa, he said the pressure, you know what I'm saying? So he wasn't trying to have a pocket form at all, because Brandon Figueroa is the better inside fighter, by a long shot. So he wasn't trying to have a pocket form at all. And although he was doing great work upstairs and downstairs, Brandon Figueroa was making him move his feet, I think, a lot more than he wanted to, you know what I'm saying? And ultimately, this would be one of the significant things going down into the stretch of the fight, because we know Magsao, he has a problem with his gas tank. So in this fight, even though he finished the fight, you know what I'm saying, he was gassed going down the stretch, kept taking a knee, not taking a knee, but going in with his head down, and Brandon Figueroa obliging him and doing exactly what you're supposed to do and lean on the back of the head. So Magsao would go down to a knee. The crowd started to boo after a while. We had 2 points taken away from Magsao in this fight. 1 in the 8th round for holding, and 1 in the 11th round for holding. This is where we get into the robbery in the making. I don't think that the point deductions were necessary. Both of them were holding. Magsao had a very good game plan. Getting off his shots, and when a pocket would form, he would grab and hold, and he would just walk Brandon Figueroa back. Now, earlier on in the fight, Brandon Figueroa wasn't resisting. Magsao would literally hold him and just walk him back to the rope. Referee would break him, and it was a clean break. Later on down into the stretch now, they're both holding with one hand, but it's the type of holding where you can let the fight go on, where you let the fighters fight out of it. One hand is free. You can punch with one hand free. You can get the other hand free. So it was that type of holding. It wasn't like they're holding both arms where the fighter just can't punch at all. You know, they're both holding on the inside, doing work. So I don't think that either point deduction was necessary. And if a point was to be taken, I feel like a point could have been taken from either fighter. A point could have been taken from Brandon Figueroa for using his head at that moment in time when Magsao did get called for the holding. A point could have been called later on in the fight when Brandon Figueroa continued to lean on Magsayo's head. Even though Magsao was going in with his head down, Brandon Figueroa could easily take a step back and throw punches, you know what I'm saying? But he chose to lean on the head. So I feel like points, if points were going to be deducted, like points could have been deducted from both fighters, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think that either fighter warranted a point being deducted. With that being said, we get down into the championship rounds, and as I said, Mark Magsao, he's winded, and Brandon Figueroa's going to the body, and Magsao is still going to Brandon Figueroa's body as well, landing a beautiful counter uppercut that he landed continuously to the body of Brandon Figueroa, sometimes doubling it up with a hook to the head, right? But Magsao is still doing good work, but the body language of Brandon Figueroa is better, you know what I'm saying? And Magsao is still doing good work. 11th round gets another point deducted. Then we get down to the decision, and it's a unanimous decision for Brandon Figueroa with very wide scorecards. Going into the 12th round, all of the commentators said, well, this 12th round could easily determine the fight. So it was a close fight, and to me, Magsao actually won more rounds. I even have Magsao winning by like a point with both point deductions. So this is why I said that this fight was a robbery in the making, because all three judges had Brandon Figueroa just winning like every single round, which is completely atrocious. You know what I'm saying? Look at the judges' scorecards, just completely atrocious. And this is the problem with boxing. Look at Sam Watson's face when they say the announcement. This is the picture right after the announcement, and look at Sam Watson's face. Look at the look on his face. He's not happy because he knows it was a robbery, and it wasn't particularly a unanimous decision winning performance by Brandon Figueroa. So this is the problem with boxing right here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at the decision. I'm not saying that the fight was a robbery. I'm not mad at the decision, because I feel like it was that close of a fight where if you had Brandon Figueroa winning, especially with the 2-point deductions, then you had him winning. I had Magsao still winning the fight by like a point with the point deduction. So if you had it going either way, it wasn't a problem. It's just that all three of the judges had the fight, had Brandon Figueroa winning like every single round, which is completely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was one round where Magsao hit Brandon Figueroa with 5 left hooks in a row. He threw a left hook to the head, a left hook to the body, and then 3 left hooks to the head, and finished it with a right hand, and every single punch hit Brandon Figueroa. Throughout the course of the fight, Magsao was the cleaner puncher. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Figueroa had some cuts. I think his nose was bleeding. He was the cleaner puncher, the cleaner effective shots landed by Magsao. And he did the cleaner work. You know what I'm saying? You know how Brandon, the clean work that Figueroa did in this fight was his straight 1-2 from long and mid range was nice. He was landing those. In his body work on the inside, he did some nice body work on the inside, but cleaner, more effective headshots and body shots definitely landed over the course of the fight by Mark Magsao. I'll say where he went wrong was the gas tank and the body language going down the tank. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Figueroa, his face, you know what I'm saying? He's sweaty, he's a little bit busted up, but he's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And Magsao, his body language was of a survivor in there, even though he still fought good to the end of the fight, and he still survived and was still doing good work. You know what I'm saying? Body language means a lot. So again, I'm not mad that Brandon Figueroa got the decision. Great fight, even with the point deductions. You know what I'm saying? Can't be mad that he got the decision. But the issue is when all three judges have it so wide. That's absolutely ridiculous, and that is the problem with boxing. You guys tell me what y'all think about it in the comment section. And until then, keep fighting your fight. Protect yourself at all times. Peace and one love. It's Coach Fire. This is Real Life Boxing.